Alright guys, welcome to the Chokehold Chat. We'll be going over UFC Fight Night Vancouver, the matchups to make after. Just get right into it because there's a lot to talk about, this week. UFC 321 coming up, big Tommy Aspinall, we'll talk about that later in the week, but man, we are in for it. Anyways, RDR drops it to Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen breaks him. I think that Brendan Allen deserves somebody up in the rankings, right? He was ranked number 9. He just beat number 4. Maybe a Caio Borralho. And the other guy who's above him, who hasn't fought in forever, is Adesanya. Adesanya, he called him out, and then Sean Strickland maybe to run it back. For RDR, I think you got to give him Dricus. But, let me know what you guys think. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. The Kevin Holland-Mike Malott fight, like I said, when I just first reacted to it, I think it's just garbage. Kevin Holland got crushed, and I don't think that we learned anything about Mike Malott. And I think it's time to find out. I'm tired of this, right? Like, he's a Canadian guy. They want a Canadian star and stuff, so they're kind of babying him. I think you should give Mike Malott Gilbert Burns and see where they're both at, because I want to see where Burns is at too. For Kevin Holland, I'm sure there's going to be a fight for a middleweight, Kevin Holland's going to Kevin Holland, so there's not really any use in trying to figure out where he goes next. He's going to do what he wants to do, right? And that's why we like him. The next fight, Chito Vera and Zahabi. Man, Chito drops it again. We talked about this. It sucks. I think for Chito, I would like to see him fight David Martinez, the doctor, just because they both kick a lot, right? So it'll be a kicking range. It's kind of more where Marlon shines, and David Martinez is number 11. So I think that's probably a good fight. And then if you even want to go further down, maybe make a star off of Marlon if you can't get it done. Chito, maybe Kyler Phillips, the Matrix. See if he can, if he could beat Chito. And then for Amin, now you're right at the top, dude. The only people that are above him is Davison, Song Yadong, Corey, Piotr, Umar. Corey's probably going to fight Sean O'Malley. Umar is fighting Mario. Piotr's fighting for the title, so that only leaves Song Yadong. And I think that's a good fight. Or Davison. I bet you that Song Yadong and Ayman Zahabi, though, would be like a number 1 contender fight for the next one if Merab gets through Piotr, so that's probably a good idea. And then the fight before this too, like, this card was so good for a fight night. Like, thank you UFC for making this stuff, right? Like, heck yeah, dude, got some good stuff. So Manon Fiorot beats Jasmine Jasudavicius. For Manon, I think maybe Natalia Silva, or she could probably wait to see how the Zhang Weili and Valentina Shevchenko fight shakes out. For women, it's not really a big deal. They really only ever fight once or twice a year. The activity is way less. It's just because the talent pool isn't as deep. For Jasmine, I would probably say Rose Namajunas makes sense. Maybe an Erin Blanchfield. And or maybe run it back with Tracy Cortez. Feel bad for her, though. It really sucks to get halted like that. I like her too. Charles Jourdain, Davy Grant. Davy Grant is probably going to end up fighting, an unranked guy. He's been around for a long time. I'm not really too worried about him. I hope he doesn't retire or anything. I like watching him fight. For Charles Jourdain, it's just, bantamweight is so tough to crack into this, the top of the division. But him versus like a Rob Font or like a Marcus McGee, come on, dude, sign me up. That's awesome. Let's Rob Font, actually, Charles Jourdain and Rob Font, that's the one. And then for lightweight, the fight before, Matt Frevola versus Kyle Nelson. Frevola, he's a dog, but he's gonna have to fight somebody in outside the rankings. And then Matt Frevola versus Drew Dober. I think they might have done it before, but you know, why not? For Kyle Nelson, probably somebody else also outside the rankings. I don't think that they're going to give him like a Ruffy or like a Grant Dawson. Nonetheless, though, still a good fight, still entertaining. You know, you could make a lot of entertaining fights with those guys. Drew Dober, man, talking about losing a child, it's just horrible, man. I'm really glad that he got that win over Kyle Propolek. Man, and like I said before, I've you know, kind of met the guy before. I think he's a good dude. I like him. And he's good, man. He's real good, you know. I think Drew Dober versus like a Huffy would be pretty cool. Maybe not the best decision for him just because he likes to get into firefights and stuff, but also too, like, Drew Dober could fight unranked dudes. He can fight whoever, and I'm gonna be interested. I'll be watching. But that's basically all the fights that I wanted to talk about on the main cards and the prelims. We'll be talking about UFC 321 coming up here on Saturday. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be awesome. But that's the recap for UFC Fight Night Vancouver, the matchups that I think need to be made next. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think differently. And yeah, I appreciate it. More people are starting to listen. More people are starting to like. It's great. So that's it. Until later in the week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.